Yeah, sorry. That at the stream.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. I am just changing locations.
No worries.
I can hear you better when I'm on here.
Yeah, well, I just moved my microphone too, kind of helped. I had it under the desk, so I have it set up on a magnetic clip-on to my desk, so I can just stick it on anything metal and get it out of my way when I need to.
Saw you on Popcorn Planet earlier. Not Popcorn Planet. Nerd Report.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, my theories are a little different when it comes to streaming and subscribers, but otherwise, it doesn't change my overall opinion. You know, they're good. They're good streamers. They do good content. I kind of wish Popcorn Planet did a little more of it, but it'd be nice to be able to call in and have a chat with Andy every now and then, right? But
once in a while he does call-in shows, but mostly it's just the panel he chooses.
Yeah, and again, I understand that reasoning just for the safety factor. Like you really never know who's going to call you, right? So
yeah, but you have the power to boot.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm just finding out now, right? So the whole time I was using OBS, thinking it was what I was going to use to do what I'm doing right now. Come to find out, StreamYard does all of this on its own. So the only thing the free version doesn't do is allow you to save recordings. But I'm sure once I'm done the stream, it does that automatically on YouTube. So that part doesn't really matter to me.
Well, we can always find out. I popped in and said hello right as soon as I got the notification.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe like 3 seconds later, but
yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, no, it's a lot easier to use this. So I think, depending on how much it is, I think I'm going to actually pay for this and use this as the dedicated streaming software because it's way easier to use than OBS. OBS is crazy complicated.
Well, Lewis was also using Melon, and I have to go in differently to call in through Melon. I have to go in through my Google Chrome.
Okay.
Not just be able to just tap the link like everybody else would.
Right.
So with StreamYard, I can actually just tap the link and join.
Yeah, and you can do it on any device, which is nice. So.
Well, I can't on my computer because there's no working microphone or camera.
Oh, yeah, that helps.
Camera's optional, but...
Yeah. It's funny, I was using, so the last time I was on and I did the first test stream, I was using a Microsoft HD webcam, and the video was horrible. Like, I'm like, I don't know what to do about this. And then some time ago, I had gotten an auction on some Amazon returns.
Oh, yeah?
And I had a pallet of Amazon returns, and I happened to have been going through what was left over that I hadn't sold, and this Apex cam, it's similar to a GoPro.
Okay. Well, I wasn't looking too much at the background unless you were trying to point stuff out, but
yeah,
I don't remember what the background behind you looked like last time.
Yeah, same thing. It's just it was blurry, right? So it was a little bit fuzzy. I didn't really like the quality of it. And I do like the fact that this has got a wider field of vision, like in every direction. So it makes it a little nicer if I've got to hold something up and say, hey, look at this, right? Whereas on
If
that
I
thing,
were to do that, it would be backwards.
well, not only would it be backwards, but it'd be like right in my face because, you know, I'm squared in like this distance.
Hmm.
So,
Well, this is my right hand.
okay. And this is my left. Yeah.
Yeah. You do the up and out with your finger and thumb,
Yeah.
and then the one that looks like an L is your left.
I wish they had said something like that in school.
I know, right? I learned that when my friend, when somebody that I know, her kids were in school.
That's
That's so obvious. How did we not know that?
I know. And you know the worst part about it is you know, so I was diagnosed with hyperactivity. So they didn't have the 80 in front of it at that point, right? I'm a 70s kid. So there was
Me
no
too.
ADHD, right? And so obviously the first prescription they give you is Ritalin. So I was on Ritalin for till I was probably 14. But I strongly believe that Ritalin was the cause of my dyslexia.
You didn't notice any signs of that before?
No,
Hmm.
no. Like I said, I mean, I went through, you know, the majority of grade school, probably up till I was about 8, and I had no problem with reading and writing and printing and stuff, and I could put it down no problem without messing things up. And then a couple of years later, I started noticing it, and it started getting worse. So
Hmm.
it's one of those things where I ended up, you know.
But you were diagnosed with 8 or before 8?
So it's just HD, so hyperactivity.
Uh-huh.
So now they call it ADHD, which is exactly what I would have been diagnosed with as a kid if they had had that term.
Mm-hmm.
Because I couldn't pay attention to anything because everything was boring.
Well, there's ADHD and ADD, which are kind of, I'm
Yes.
not sure what the difference is, but I
So
guess the hyper.
yeah, I would have been absolutely ADHD because I couldn't sit still, and paying attention to people was just, it was too much.
You heard the Charlie Brown teacher thing, huh?
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, it's funny because once I finally hit, I'd say the last year of grade school and the first year of high school, I fought with teachers on a regular basis until I finally got into it with my English teacher and my math teacher. I had to learn how to do math in my head. Had no choice because if I tried to put the formula out on paper, it was backwards.
Oh, it would confuse the poop out of you.
Yeah, right. So I would submit it, and they'd be like, "This is all wrong," and I'd have the right answer. And they're like, "How did you get all of these numbers wrong but have the right answer?" And I'm like, "Well,
It's all in front of you.
yeah, I did it in
If
my
you
head,
can't see
right?
how I did it.
You know, if it's backwards, then that's the reason it's backwards. I didn't
Oh,
really know 100%, but I'm like, listen, I can't put things on paper like anyone else. It comes out backwards. And I fought with them probably the math teacher, I think I fought with the most, just for the fact that he didn't believe I was doing it in my head. So I actually had to force him to sit down and listen to me. And I said, give me as many math problems as you possibly can and give me a few minutes and I'll work them out in my head and you can watch me do it. So after that, I didn't have too many problems, but you know, because the teachers, they understood that, you know, if you want me to write on an English assignment, unless it's got autocorrect, and at that time, I think all we had was like the Brother typewriter with the little autocorrect screen. If you remember those.
I don't remember any typewriters with an autocorrect.
Yeah, well, they would have had like a word processor screen at the top above the keys.
Don't recall any of those.
Yeah.
No, when I took typing in grade 9 and in high school, we just had electric typewriters.
Yeah, see, and so did we. But
There's
at
no
home,
screen.
yeah, but at home, my parents actually went out and bought me one. Where are you roughly located? You're in Canada, right?
I'm in Canada. I'm just north of Edmonton.
Do you remember a company back in the 70s and 80s called Consumers Distributing?
Yes.
Okay. So that's where we had gotten it from. So it was a big thing in there. Um, they had two typewriters. They had the standard one with the correct ribbon in it, so it would go back and remove it if you wanted to. And then the next step up was the one. It had about I don't know. I'm going to say about a 6-inch screen. Actually, roughly the size, maybe a little bit larger than this.
Then the screen, or then the whole thing?
The screen itself, and then the rest of the typewriter was below it and above it. So it was smack dab in the center. As far as I remember, I don't remember anyone else other than Brother. Let me just check to see if it was that.
Oh, my computer just went off. Oh, well. I might be getting interrupted. My children are yelling outside of the room.
Uh-oh.
My daughter's saying, I need your help.
No worries.
So if I mute myself suddenly, then it's because she's getting too loud.
No worries.
Oh, my son just responded to her. He's not happy.
There it is. Let's see. Let's see. Here's my next one. Will it let me? Share, invite, leave studio.
Hey. Nope.
Now I'm trying to figure out a way to get it to share this image, but I don't know how to do it just yet.
Oh, I'm just playing with my screen too. I'm trying to see if I can look at the chat and still see what I see on my screen. Nope, that's not.
So
Just.
it's probably something that's in solo layout. It's probably hidden in the Pro version of StreamYard, more than likely.
Possibly. I am going to my.
It's there. It's called the Brother SX4000. And then they had another one, an AX35, which was the upgrade with the larger screen. I'll just throw the link in there, maybe to let you go to the link. Can you open a link on there?
I'm trying to find you under my subscriptions. It's about what? Oh, I was looking for what?
What?
Okay, mute. Okay. I'm going to have a little bit of an echo for a second.
No worries.
Maybe. Okay. I'm muting that again. I don't seem to be on a delay, but my computer is.
Yeah, that's the YouTube section. Paste. I'll throw it in the chat. You can see. Show.
Okay, so I said hello. You put in the link, and I said volume low, and that doesn't apply anymore. And I can click on that. Oh, it opened a new window altogether. No, I always remember having a computer in the house, but I also remember it being a big deal when we got one.
Yeah, this was a pretty big deal for me.
Oh, for sure.
It would automatically correct my spelling mistakes before it would type it out.
I don't know. It doesn't really look familiar. I mean, keyboard, basic keyboard, but
Yeah.
no. The electric typewriters that we had in the schools that I went to were kind of rounded. I don't remember
Yeah.
what brand they were.
Yeah, like I said, the ones we had in class were like that as well. But like I said, it wasn't quite as bad as like probably later. I'm gonna say it's gotten its worst.
Hey, you've got 2 likes.
Oh, cool!
I liked it. Did you like it?
I liked it.
Well, I guess that would be the 2.
Is there anyone else in here besides you? I don't see it.
Nobody said anything. I can't tell if anybody's.
You watching? Oh, I'm watching.
And well, I've got my computer on and my phone on, but I don't think that counts as 2.
No, there we go. It's because I had it open up top just to see how the stream was running.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently I don't need to go there at all. So yeah, it's like I said, it's a funky little typewriter, and it helped out immensely. And that's pretty much how I had to handle the majority of my English assignments. But under most conditions, the teacher just had a basic idea what was going on and just let it flow. So she knew and got to a point where she could pick things out and go, okay, I know what he's saying there, right? Or what he's written there.
Mm-hmm.
Because my biggest thing was that, and I would tell her all the time, I said, listen, I don't want to spend an extra hour and a half going through all of these mistakes when, just like my brain mixes things up, your brain will straighten them back out. You've seen those online tests where the words aren't complete, but you still know what it's saying.
I've seen the ones where the first and the last letter are in the right place, and sometimes the things are jumbled up, but I can read it normally.
Yeah, and some letters are missing or whatever. Yeah, that's basically, kind of how I explained it to them is I can guarantee you when I write it, you'll know what I'm saying. It just doesn't, my hand and they just don't link. They're not linked. So.
I usually say my brain and my mouth aren't on speaking terms, but I guess for you it was your brain and your hand.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I still get confused about, what comes first, I or E, and I have a cousin named Michael, and I always got the A and the E mixed up. And I don't know if it was just because it was his name or, he was just like, it's always like this, Carrie. I don't know why you don't get it.
And again, that's pretty much the majority of the things that I do. Like, for instance, I won't even notice it. Like, I think I typed in call-in test stream twice before I put it on the ticker, and then there was something else that I put in that I was typing out that I got backwards like 3 times, and I went, oh. Or I just skip a letter. Like, for instance, there, I'll skip the E almost every time. So it'd be like
T-H-R-E.
R-E, yeah. Yeah.
But there's also 3 theirs. So, I mean.
Yeah, it gets a little crazy. It's one of those things where, like, but when it comes to drawing, I have no issues.
Because the squiggles don't necessarily have to be in the right place for other people to see what you're doing.
Yeah, but you would think, well, for instance, when I'm doing a portrait, you would think that my brain and my hand would reverse some of the lines that I'm doing, and it doesn't.
Or maybe you just have symmetrical people you're drawing.
It's possible. I mean, everyone is kind of symmetrical, but yeah, you would think like I would do something just not even thinking about it especially when I'm doing like I do some automotive 3D design, and
Mhm.
just everything I do works out perfectly. But the minute I go to write something, it's like, oh, here we go.
Have you tried using your other hand to write?
I was left-handed when I first started school, and the nuns beat it out of me
Oh,
because I was evil. I'm
you
not
know, my mother-in-law tried to do that with my first child. Everything that she picked up when she was, before school, when she was just learning her motor skills, she'd pick up with her left hand first. So I'm like, oh, great, she's a lefty.
kidding. Hmm.
Okay. I never tried to train her out of that. That's probably because I went to school with somebody who should have been left-handed, and it was the same for her. She was trained out of it because it was normal to be right-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all of the reasons. It's an evil. It's an evil. It's what was the other one? Oh, don't do that. You'll drag the ink or the pencil across the page as you're writing. And
Well, if you smear the ink, you have to figure out how to hold your hand right. That's all you have to do. You have to learn how to do it right for you.
yeah, pretty much. So
And yeah, you're definitely part of the everybody learns differently
yeah, yeah,
category.
absolutely. Right. It's completely different. Um, I've learned way more as an adult than I ever learned as a kid.
I think for me, it has to do with timing and the way that people talk.
Yeah.
Because here for school and in elementary, it goes from kindergarten to grade 6.
Yeah.
We have junior high for 7, 8, and 9, and then 10, 11, and 12 is high school. So when I was in junior high, I was one of the top of the class in my math class. And then I went into the regular grade 10 math. First unit we were doing in math was trig. I was so lost.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure anything out. I was lucky to find my way out of the classroom at the end of the day. Um, Switched to a slightly lower math class, and they had already covered trigonometry by the time I'd made the switch.
Yeah.
And so I basically missed that unit for grade 10. In grade 11, I took a semestered math class, so I had it 6 times a week instead of 3.
Oh.
And so basically, you would have, instead of having the full week to absorb the 3 lessons, you'd have half the time. And we were taught trig by a student teacher. And I don't remember the lessons anymore, but everything just made sense.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, 1 plus 1 is 2.
Yes.
So I don't know if it was the timing or if it was the teaching method, but yeah.
Yeah. Trig was a little tricky for me, probably for the first month. And then I decided to, again, go back to figuring it out on my own because the way it was being taught in the textbooks and the way the teacher was teaching it, it just wasn't making sense to me. So I started
Everybody
using,
learns differently.
yeah, and I started using it practically instead of trying to learn it out of a textbook. And then it made sense to me. It's like, uh, I think where I picked it up most of all was when I turned 16, I had gotten my license and I wanted to build a subwoofer box,
Wow.
right? So I needed to be able to figure out what the acoustic frequency the subs responded to, whether I wanted to make the box ported or sealed, how much cubic space was needed for each subwoofer, and started just doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how I ended up learning a lot of it: square root, trig, calculus, because I put it to something practical. I just, looking at diagrams and schematics and stuff on the pages was just like, yeah, okay. Is there any chance we can put something in place of this that makes sense? Right?
Yeah, it's 3, 2, 1, eyes are crossed.
Yeah, give me something physical that makes sense. Right? But yeah, that's pretty much where I finally decided, okay, this is stuff I have to learn on my own because no one else is going to teach me the way I need to. And that's pretty much how I took everything after that. Like I said, when I graduated, um, at that point, we were just starting to get into the internet. And I went to school for computer science, and everything made sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. None of it applies anymore. Windows 95 doesn't apply to anything anymore.
Well, I still remember when I was in grade 9, our teacher told us that the technology was coming out, that they would be able to put a picture on the computer screen and you could actually tell what the picture was. And we thought he was full of shit. And look at where we are now.
I think I'm going to try to, let me think of one of the things that I remember predicting as a kid with my parents was they had, I can't even remember how old I was, but they had options to buy shares to Burger King.
Wow.
And somehow, some reason, some way, I was really young, right? I mean, I don't know, let me think. Burger King didn't really hit the mainstream in Canada till late 70s, where there was more than one restaurant in the city.
Well, I remember it was combined with KFC, because I remember walking with my mom to a KFC close to their house, and she'd get a mushroom burger.
Yeah, the old matzo burger. I love those things. And I remember them saying that they had options to buy stocks on it. And I remember asking, "What's that mean? What is that? What is that? What's a stock?" And they explained it to me. They said that you own little bits and pieces of the company, and when the company becomes profitable, you make money on those little bits and pieces, and then you can sell them off. And they were both arguing back and forth. My mom and my dad going, "No, it's not a good idea." My dad goes, "Well, what the hell? I mean, we might as well give it a shot." My mom's like, "No." And then a couple of days later, my mom's like, "Okay, you know what? It's not a bad idea." And my dad went, "No, I think I'm gonna change my mind on that. I think I'm gonna stick with Chrysler shares." And I remember sitting up and going, "You should buy them. I think they're gonna be really big." And they're like, "No, no, we'll just stick with Chryslers." And
Well,
they both told me, it's like, I can't believe we didn't listen to you. If a kid gets it, right?
well, you know what appeals to you for what you'd want to go for takeout.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of McDonald's, right? I didn't really like McDonald's all that much.
McDonald's is fun.
Everybody else was like, "Oh, I want to get McDonald's. I want to get McDonald's." And I was like, I just like the taste of Whoppers better. And at that time, they hadn't changed their French fries, so they're identical to McDonald's.
Hmm.
Then they went to those McCain season things. They've gotten a little bit better, but not by much.
Well, that's the only place I don't really like poutine from is Burger King.
Well, that's because of the seasoning on the fries, right? So they're already salty to begin with.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's because of the gravy.
Oh, that's possible too. Sometimes the gravy is too salty as well, right? So.
I don't know, but they don't even call it gravy. They call it poutine sauce.
Yeah. It's got to be it's seasoned then. It's one of those things where I'll never forget. So I had normally ordered the poutines from Swiss Chalet, And
Chicken poutine.
once by accident, they sent me the chalet sauce instead
Oh, gross.
of gravy. Yeah. I had a little bite and I dipped some in the sauce and I took a taste and I went, no,
Nope.
no, it's not working.
Definitely wrong.
Yeah. And it's funny, I think the first time I ever had their sauce, I was actually at a Swiss Chalet. And I thought it tasted like,
I taste cinnamon in it.
I taste the smell of pine sol in it.
Oh, that's really nasty.
Yeah, it's really weird. I know a lot of people are like, "What do you mean you taste the smell?" Yeah, the taste of the gravy reminds me of the smell of pine sol.
Well, you can taste the smell. When you can smell it, you open your mouth and breathe in. You taste the smell.
Yeah,
Why don't you understand?
yeah, it doesn't taste like anything else, and it doesn't taste like
Gross.
it's yeah, and it doesn't taste like it's good for you.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that they didn't clean out the container that they made the sauce in before they made the sauce that you had. That
You
is
know
just
what?
nasty.
I mean, I've grown accustomed to the taste, but it still doesn't taste to me like it's a good product.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, that's
Every
like,
time we go, we say if there's chalet sauce, we'll swap it for gravy.
yeah, absolutely.
The gravy's amazing.
Yeah, their regular gravy's fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. That's what chalet stuff is
They're
just.
famous with chalet sauces.
It tastes like nothing else.
I
Like
don't know. I get a hint of cinnamon in it. And
it's.
that's not what I
I
want
was
when I was
thinking.
having fries and chicken.
I was thinking nutmeg. Too much nutmeg. So you know how sometimes you can make an apple pie with nutmeg instead of cinnamon.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Yeah. So a lot of times, like if you buy a store bought an apple pie, if you look at the ingredients, it'll either have one or the other or both.
I will have to look at that the next time I buy an apple pie.
Yeah. I had a friend make some pies and they accidentally swapped out or substituted the amount of nutmeg they were supposed to put in the pie, and it ended up being like 4 times the amount. And that's what Swiss chalet sauce reminds me
Oh,
of.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
So nutmeg on a mild end. So if you take and you like dipped your finger in a little bit of nutmeg and took a taste, you go, "Oh, okay, that tastes like cinnamon." But if you take more than that, you'll notice it's a completely different flavor. Whereas cinnamon never changes.
I don't know. The only times that I know that I've had nutmeg was when I've made my own. Well, my mom called them eggnog. It was basically just a smoothie with like milk, egg, and a little bit of nutmeg.
So and if that
Vanilla.
but that flavor is a cinnamon flavor in the actual in the eggnog. Right? I mean,
But that's how I know what too much nutmeg tastes like.
yeah, that's like I said. It's the other thing that sometimes they'll use nutmeg in are oatmeal cookies.
I don't know. I have to have chocolate in my cookies.
Yeah.
Oatmeal raisin does not cut it for me.
Yeah.
Way too healthy.
Yeah. You know, I was wondering. I wonder if so on Discord. I wonder if I need to create my own Discord server, or if there's an open, if it's open in the chat on either one on Nerd Report or Popcorn Planet to post a live stream. I don't want to do it without their permission if that's not something that they would normally not do.
I don't know. I know that Andy will redirect people to certain channels if he's asked.
Yeah.
So don't know how that works, but
well, the thing is again, I'd have to be on his panel, right? That's eventually I'm going to have to bring this to a point where I get enough followers and I've gotten enough input from say Lewis or Kim or whatever to say, hey, you know what? Let's add this guy to the panel. But I mean, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
I don't know. Lewis likes to, he generally has the same people on his panel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, he's pretty dedicated to who he lets in for his invites. And I mean, he'll post it publicly, but I think he realizes that anyone that would call in that would be bad for the channel, he probably just boots them when he sees them sitting in
the waiting area. Yeah,
waiting area. He probably just boots them right away, going, I know that this person isn't going to be good for the channel or whatever. That's why I was surprised he picked me up so quickly, right? It's like, yeah, sure, try it out.
I know, right? It's just, when it happens so fast.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. I was like, hey, you actually let me in. Sweet. So.
No, I haven't tried calling in again since the day that he booted me. He took me off the air, and then I was in, the waiting area for a little while, and then it just disconnected, and then I called back, and I made it to the waiting area, and then it disconnected, and I said, okay, I can take a hint.
Yeah.
And then, I don't remember exactly what time I logged in or started watching the stream today, but the one time I saw that he posted the link, it was just for Amy or Tanya to call back, and he said, anyone else, you're booted. So I was like, okay, not even going to try.
Yeah. I just got, like I said, I just got really lucky. I caught it early because of the chat. If you don't get it in quick enough and catch the link, it's gone. Mm-hmm. But why did he kick you off?
Well, I was trying to say something to one of the other people on the screen, and he wanted to change the subject, and I guess I was talking over him too much. But I was on a bit of a delay, so what could I do?
Yeah.
Right? By the time I realized you wanted me to stop talking, I was out of the room.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I wonder if he was just maybe he was having a bad day, or I don't know. It's hard to tell with him sometimes.
Well, that's why I'm gonna, I sent him an apology on Instagram and got no response to that. Don't even know if he's read it. So, I sent him an apology because it's his channel, and I, being Canadian, and I see that I overstepped, and I understand where he's coming from, and he does not have to explain anything to me. I just wanted to apologize, so I did.
Yeah. Like I said, I was kind of surprised to jump in there because, like I said, I mean, there's nothing wrong with a disagreement. You can agree to disagree, and like I said, certain things I disagree with on the way the popcorn panels channels operate. I don't like that. Like I said, I think that you should be able to sit. If you take a few minutes out for your super chats and donations, and mention their comments. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a couple of minutes, going through some of the people that were not able to or couldn't afford the super chat or couldn't afford to be a member, but still have something valid to say or have a valid.
I've had some of my chats put on the screen.
What's that?
I've had some of my just regular chats put on the screen. they were having a superhero conversation, and they started talking about Superman, and I did a typo. I said Christopher Reed is the only true Superman, but it's Reeves, and
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
that I said about Christopher Reed was put up, but not the correction with the right name.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I said, I just I think it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're in it to make money. And that's fine. I'm very
I'm
aware.
not getting paid for when I work.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Their time is worth money, and the people that do spend the money for their time deserve to get their shout out. I just think that every now and then, somewhere in between, they should just shout out a random person and say, "Hey," right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's engaging.
So I know Emily does that. If there's something that she sees that isn't necessarily a super chat.
Yes.
I can't get my super chats to work properly on my phone, and I can't afford to do them through my computer because I have a different thing to pay through my phone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever done a super chat? Because they charge GST on them.
No, I've never gotten. No, I've never done a super chat, and nor have I received one. So I wouldn't surprise me. So not only does.
Well, I don't think that they get the GST for it because they're not in Canada, but we have to pay it as putting it through YouTube, I guess.
They still get their percentage, right? So say, for instance, someone sends a super chat for $1 or 99 cents. So you're going to lose 12 cents off of that. Then you're going to lose another 50 cents off of that. So you're looking at 35 cents left over by the time everything's said and done between YouTube and the government.
See, that's what I love about Alberta is we only have GST, so for us it's only 5%.
Right.
So, yeah, I did a super chat, but it wouldn't let me type anything in. And I tried to do a super sticker, and it has like a $5 one and a $2.99 one, and
yeah,
not necessarily stuff that was within the price range of what I had on my little system.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, I don't. Like I said, it's. I don't know. There's some sort of. I don't know if it's personal ethics. I think is the right one. Is it personal ethics?
Could be personal preference.
Maybe that's it. Like, my family has access to my Amazon wish list. And I was going through it's one of those things where I was going through I won't say who, but I was going through one of the people, and I was looking at what they were raising funds for, plus the wish list, plus the super chats, and the extra donations, the GoFundMe. And I did a rough calculation, and it was way more than the studio's worth.
Yeah, I don't know how it works with what they actually get.
But at the same
Kim
time,
would probably be a good person to ask because she's Canadian as well, and she'd know what she actually gets out of every dollar.
yeah, see, and that's the thing too, right? So I know what the donations and stuff, and I know that. I mean, even though it doesn't, it seems like a lot when they've got 40, 50,000 subscribers, but the kickback isn't that high. So, for instance, for for Nerd Report, he needs that. If he's doing that, those kind of like extra upgrades, he needs that extra stuff, right? Like, I mean, he's not making a bundle of money off of YouTube yet.
Well, I know that they don't make much money off of me. I've bought one membership to Nerd Report, and I did a $1 super chat, and then it wasn't even a chat.
Yeah. So I subscribe to all 4 of the panel. That's why.
So when you say all 4, who?
So Kim, Steph, Lewis,
Popcorn
and
Planet?
yeah. So I've subscribed to all 4 of them because I think they deserve at least that for what they put out.
I would if I could afford it.
Yeah.
And I did to. The reason Nerd Report was the first one is it's, quite frankly, the cheapest.
Yeah, it is.
And, you know, I had that much in my little funds, and I did. So
yeah. I honestly believe that it makes sense to support creators you believe in. I don't. It's just like music or anything else.
Oh, definitely. I don't download music. I buy it.
Yeah, same here.
I like the hard copy.
Yes. Usually what I'll do is so I have a Spotify account. So if I find something on Spotify, I'll buy the album digitally if I really like it. Even though I know they're getting kickback from playbacks, still buy the album so that I have it.
Yeah, they get what, 10 cents a play if they're lucky.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So like I said, I mean, it's so there's a couple of other subscribers that I watch on a regular basis, and they have over 1 million subscribers, and I for sure wouldn't donate anything just because I know they're raking in the cash, like with their sponsors, Omaze and Raycon and all of these. What do you call it? I don't know how many times I got to see that stupid Lawnmower 2000. That stupid shaver.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever the hell that thing's called. It just and they're in.
I was actually thinking about a lawnmower.
Oh, okay. No, this is like for guys. The guys' grooming kit. I don't even want to say their name because I don't even want to.
No, I figured out what it was when you mentioned it was for grooming, because we've been having lawnmower issues.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, and the worst part about it is so I go and I pay for YouTube Premium, and I still got their sponsors embedded. Like, I paid not to have embedded sponsors and commercials. I still have to watch them.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
But, you know, I kind of like the way that Andy does his sponsors, is he just talks about it. And they're products that he uses, so he definitely believes in it. So, yeah.
I watch another stream, Linus Tech Tips. And, I mean, they've got their partner sponsors and stuff like that for the computer stuff that they build. And he has a very Linus himself, he has a very unique way of inserting those advertisements, which is funny, and then you get the option to skip, which is nice. So
yeah, usually I have to watch like 5 seconds of the ad before I can skip it.
Yeah, but
sometimes they don't.
And his are always like when he does his streams, they're always in line. So this is what we're talking about. Here's my introduction graphic, and then here's what we're talking about, and it's brought to you by, right? And then they do their little thing, and then they have at the very end, the last 20 seconds, they have their full feature. Whoever it is that they're sponsored by, and then I could just end. I can just bypass the entire advertisement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
if you know there's nothing important after, then yeah, by all means, just bye.
And there's a few things I've picked up along the way that I found useful. Like I grabbed the subscription to private internet access, the VPN.
Okay.
It's nice because there's certain things like I can download apps from the Play Store using a US account
Oh.
that I can't get here. It allows me to set up and configure Cash App, right? Even though I'm Canadian, so it shows up as an American. So that was one of the things I was helping Kim with, because she was having some serious issues with Cash App and someone.
Yeah, I know I've heard some of her stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I can't find her on Instagram. I don't know if she has an Instagram.
Yeah. I posted. I
don't have her last name, so. But I'm not asking for it.
I think it's Kim.
I tried looking for her under It's Kim, but I don't recall finding it. I've looked for people who are following Steph and who are following Andy as well with the Kim name, and those pictures don't look like her to me. So.
Hang on. Instagram.
Oh, I'm not asking for her information. If I can't find it, I can't find it.
Yeah. No,
besides, we never know who's going to be watching this, so please don't give her personal information.
No. I just want to confirm that that's the actual name.
Well, I wasn't even sure if I had the right Steph until she said her last name on one of her streams.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. But I am sure that I have the right one now.
Yeah.
Well, I also have my Instagram only on my phone, so the pictures are, like the size of your thumbnail, literally.
Yeah.
So, if I had it on my computer, it might be different. I might be able to actually see if it's her or not.
I'm not sure. Oh, I know why. I'm looking on Instagram and I shouldn't be. It's on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I don't do Twitter. Yeah. I just... I did make a Twitter account, and I don't remember any of the information from it, so...
Yeah.
I'd basically have to start a new one anyway, because so much of my information has changed since I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, the only one that I have that crossed over so far was Emily. I watched all of that trial with her.
Oh, I wish I wasn't so against admitting that I watched it when I started.
When I first started watching it, I was watching it on the Law Network, or whatever you want to call it.
Law and Crime?
Yeah, Law and Crime. And then for some reason, YouTube picked up on it and said, since you like this, maybe you'll like this. And Emily Baker came up. And I went, oh, who's this? This is a lawyer. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay. Yeah. And then when I started watching it, I was like, yes, this is why she's got a good following, because she's not looking at anything else. She's just watching the court proceedings and giving some little bit of, not that I needed explanation as to what was happening in the terms.
But, not everybody knows what all those terms mean. And, I know a lot more legalese now than I did before I started watching that.
Yeah. and that's the thing too, right? So, but in watching, her perspective on what was happening each day and how things were going, and watching her reactions is priceless.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
Yeah,
I went to turn on my light and I forgot I was supposed to use Google to do that.
Yeah, watching her reactions, her reaction to the when they decided to include the hashtags.
Oh, jeez, I'm gonna have to find out what day that was.
Oh, I cannot believe they brought that into the courtroom out of all of the things they brought in social
Oh,
media.
which one was I watching? Oh, I can't remember which stream I was watching, but it was like, say it again, say it again. I can't believe they keep saying Amber Turd so much. Say it again.
and then what was it? It was so I think it was like right after that. I think it was Elaine sat down and Camille was up asking a question, and what's her face went to say something, and you can hear mumbling in the background, and all you can hear is Elaine, turn on your
The
mic.
microphone.
Oh, she had me laughing. I was glad to watch it that way instead of watching it the other way, because it was kind of like it was in the background.
Well,
And
you get the comic relief.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It was like I said, it was definitely a better way to watch it.
Well, I didn't want YouTube to see that I was watching stuff like that, so I was like, not gonna like any of them. I'm not gonna subscribe to anybody, and then okay, I'll like them.
Yeah, right.
And then I found out that I saw a stream with Runkle when he was staying with Law and Lumber, and it was the first one where the first one that I saw with him, and the first time that I heard them refer to him as we like Sleepy Sleepy Runkle,
Yeah,
or sleep deprived Runkle.
yeah.
And I found out he was from Canada, so I'm like, wonder
Yep.
what part of Canada, and he's actually from Edmonton. So
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. I liked him. I liked his crazy hair.
yeah. Oh, I love the fact that it's all white. I would love to. I would trade hair with him in a heartbeat if his was a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely he put in the time there. I'm telling you that to be there every day in court, that was quite impressive. I don't think I'd have been able to do that every day.
If he wasn't staying with Law and Lumber, I don't think he would have been able to do it.
Yeah.
Because hotels ain't cheap anymore.
No.
Even the cheap ones are not cheap.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I know he had to come back for some stuff because he wasn't just on holidays or anything. He was actually, between cases and stuff. He had to come back for work.
Yeah.
So.
And the other one that I thought was really funny watching her react to is when they mentioned that umbrella guy. He's like, and then again, Law and Lumber, right? Because of the bed scenario.
Oh, I don't think I ever watched that video with him debunking the damage to the bed.
Yeah, I watched it. It was pretty funny. It's like, yeah.
I didn't really want to see somebody destroy a bed frame.
No, but like I said, I mean, it was one of those things where when they showed the picture of it, I'm going, and they did what to it? That's not possible, right? I'm 6'6" and I can kick.
You're 6'6"? Wow,
yeah.
You can't tell that when you're sitting down.
Yeah. Yeah. 6'6" and big feet.
Sorry, 6'6" and what?
And big feet.
And you have big feet?
Yeah.
Ah.
They're much larger than they need to be for my height.
Hey, they've got a 6-foot frame to keep out of the wind to stay upright even when it's windy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I mean, it'd be great if they were actually the size they should be, which is like a 13 or a 14, because then I could buy shoes normally. But no, no. I go to Foot Locker. Oh, geez. I haven't been back to Foot Locker since. I think I was 19 or 20. And I went in and I was like, because I needed new shoes. And I didn't want to go over to Detroit to go grab shoes because they have them naturally in my size. Um, so I was like, I was kind of in a hurry, and I'm like, I need to get some new shoes. The internet wasn't a place you could order anything, and I wasn't
Not
gonna
yet.
I wasn't gonna rock some Bioway special Velcros. So I go
Oh,
in.
Byway is gone here. It's been gone here for a long time.
Same here, right? But at
I
that
thought
time,
it was still out east.
yeah, and I think it is out like more towards like I think New Brunswick and Cape Breton,
Hmm.
and Halifax, but there's none in Ontario at all.
Wow. Do you guys still have Kmart?
Nope, gone. Zellers is gone too.
Yeah, I did work for Zellers, but I quit there a few years before they went under.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were talking about shoes.
Oh yeah. So I go into Foot Locker and I'm like, need a new pair of shoes, and they're like, okay, what size? I said 16. And they went, we don't have anything that size. And I was kind of baffled for a minute. And I said, so what you're telling me is I'm looking for, under most conditions, a basketball shoe that would fit a basketball player, and you don't have any? Like size 16 small for an NBA player,
Wow.
right? And I'm looking at them going, okay, so none of these Nikes or Jordans or anything are here in a size 16. They're like, no. I said, okay, can you order them? No. You have no manufacturer with a size 16. No, we can't get them. So how can you get away
Can
with
you
selling?
check?
Yeah, I'm like, how can you get away with not selling a basketball player size shoe? That makes no sense. So I was, it was really weird. It was kind of like, okay, well, the Cosmos or Karma or whoever it was that would decided that okay, we realize that you're going to have an issue. So I go home, and at the time, um, I was living in Windsor, which I'm back in now. Um, I was going home, and there was a white Greyhound bus on the highway pulled over. And so I thought, well, let me just check and see if they've had anybody come out and help or whatever, just for the sake. Maybe cell phones weren't anything major at that point. They were starting to kick around a little bit, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they were bricks. And so I pull up to the bus, and the bus driver's looking at the front tire, and I was like, does anybody even buy to help you out at all? And he's like, no, no one's been by yet. I said, well, I can run up to the next gas station, and I can call somebody for you. And he's like, okay, that'd be great. So he hands me his card,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, okay, well, at least let me pay for the phone call. I'm like, no, 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 don't worry about it. And then standing behind him is one of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were on their tour bus going to Toronto, and he looks at me, he looks at the bus driver, he looks down at my shoes. My shoes were trashed. I was wearing a pair of extremely past their lifespan British Knights. And he looks at me and he goes, "What's up with your shoes, man?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you, I went to go get some at Foot Locker, and they don't carry my size." He says, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "No, I can't find them anywhere here in Canada. I'm gonna have to go to Detroit on the weekend and go pick up a pair." He's like, "What size are they?" I said, 16s. He said, "Hey, give me a minute." So they go back. I guess one of the players on there had a brand new set of Converse All Stars.
Wow.
handed them to me and said, "There you go." I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" Like, so I ended up going and making the phone call for them, and I guess they sent someone out to make sure they got back on the road. But yeah, I think that's the only time karma's ever worked in my favor. Yeah. No. One more time after that.
That you can recall right now.
Yeah. One more time after that. I had one of those strange occurrences. Usually, what ends up happening is karma now likes to laugh at me. So, for instance, I'm working on this really old. I don't know if you can kind of see the back of it.
High chart?
No,
No.
it's an old gaming or an old gaming arcade game.
Okay.
It's sitting on a chair. I know it's hard to see, but it's sitting on a chair, and the guy that owns it's having an issue with it. It keeps needing a keyboard to boot back into the game. And I figured out what was wrong with it. It needs a new backup battery, which I have here for it. And I needed a keyboard for it. And the keyboard is the old style PS2 round plug.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have any. Looking all over, and I'm like, okay, well, the only thing I could seem to find is on eBay, and the guy's like, okay, let me order it. So I send him the link, he orders it. It shows up. The next day, I kid you not, 3 of them come in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's how karma normally works for me, right? So for it to work on a day that I actually need it, like I said, I think I can count 2 for sure. The second one was my ceiling fan exploded. I mean, it hurt the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm up on the ladder. I'm taking it down.
Okay, apartment or house?
This unit here. So there's a new one that's you can see the string swang right there.
Okay.
So it was here. So it had one in, and it was running fine, and then all of a sudden it just went. It started making that buzzing. Somebody struck the transformer with lightning sound,
Mm-hmm.
and then it literally exploded and stopped dead. It left black marks on the ceiling.
Oh, geez.
And I was like, holy crap, I've never seen a ceiling fan do that. So I get up on the ladder.
Please tell me you turned it off.
Well, it had already tripped the breaker at that point.
Okay. So no power. Good.
Yeah, so no power. I'm pulling it down. I got the front door open. My neighbor walks by, he sees me up on the ladder. He said, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Well, looks like I'm about ready to go out and spend $100 on a new ceiling fan." And he looked up and he saw it and he went, "Holy crap." I was like, "Yeah, this kind of sucks." He's like, "I'll be back." And I went, "Okay." What was he going to do? Help me hold the ladder? 5 minutes goes by. I finally get it down. It's all disconnected. I got it sitting down on the ground, and I'm looking at it, scratching my head, going, "What in the hell?" He comes over to a brand new one, the one that's up there now.
Wow.
He's like, "There you go." I'm like, "Okay, I got to pay for it." He's, "No, you don't. You need a ceiling fan." Yeah, right. So those are the only 2 times that I've gotten that kind of like literally the same moment I need it scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had good fortune with some things, but not right when you need it. Like I drive an '07 Cooper S, and when I bought it out of Toronto. I knew it had problems. I bought it for $2,000, so I knew it was going to have some issues, and it didn't run great.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it to a mechanic that I knew, but I didn't really know his work all that well. So I was like, I need you to go through everything and find out why this thing's running like crap. Replace whatever needs to be replaced, seals, gaskets, whatever you need to do. I need it to run properly. So they get everything, they do all of this, they change everything. to bring the car back to me. I'm like, okay. So he's like, okay, drop me back off. And I was like, okay. He's like, you don't have to worry right now. Our debit machine's down right now, so I'll give you a shout when it comes back online. You can settle up your bill. He says, it's not like I don't know where you live. I'm like, cool. So I drive the car back. I go to come up to the stop sign. I've got no power brakes.
Ouch.
I'm going, what the hell is going on? So I'm slamming on the brakes. I sit at the stoplight, rev the car up a little bit, take off. I have brakes all of a sudden. I go to hit the brake pedal a second time. Again, like when when your power brake shut down, so you still can stop, but you got to like stand on the brake.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's twice. So I go around the block and start to work my way back. It does the same thing again, and now it's doing it consistently. So I pull back up and I was like, something's up with my brakes. He says, really? I said, yeah. I was like, okay, let's go for a spin. He's like, okay. So we come up to the stop sign. I said, okay, hit the brakes. He hits the brakes. He said, they feel fine. I said, no, hit him again. He hits him a second time, and then he's like, oh, that's not right. I'm like, yeah, something's up. He's like, okay, we'll get it back in. We'll look around. So he does whatever he's doing. He's like, I think your master cylinder's failing or whatever. And it's like, it's kind of odd, but all right. So I get back home. I'm supposed to go up north on a vacation. And I was like, okay, so take my car up. This is going to be cheaper on gas than the truck. So I don't use the car the rest of the week. And then the Friday morning, I go to start the car up. It cranks. I hear a cracking sound. Then it just shuts off. Won't start again.
My goodness.
So I'm like, okay, what the hell? And when I opened up the hood, I could see, so on a lot of German manufactured cars, they use what's called a mechanical vacuum pump. And
Okay.
it's bolted to the exhaust cam. So it's an overhead cam, so it's spinning the pump. And on the other end is the timing chain sprocket, another timing chain sprocket for the intake, and then the chain runs down to the crank.
Okay.
So it had seized inside solid. When I pulled the cover off, it snapped the bolt right off of the what do you call it? The gear. Snapped the chain. So I call them up and I'm like, what did you guys do to this car? And they're like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, you need to come down and take a look at this. So he comes down, he looks at it, and I'm like, I've got everything open. And I was like, okay, well, let's see what the hell happened. I said, did you get the rebuild kit for everything? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, so by any chance, did you happen to rebuild the vacuum pump? He said, yeah, my son rebuilt it. I said, okay, let's
You
check.
did something wrong.
Yeah. It's like, well, the ding that's in that canister doesn't look right. So let's check it out. So I pull it off, I open it up, and how to explain it?
A frog jumped out.
Pretty much. So it's got a metal rod that sits in the middle of it, and it slides back and forth. And on each end are these two little flat discs that sit like this. And they allow a little bit of movement this way, but what they do is they roll around on the inside edge of the canister. So like on the sidewall. So think of it like a coffee can, and there's a flat piece inside it, and there's this little piece inside here that's supposed to help keep it in place while it's spinning around in a circle. So there's
Okay.
one on each end, right? So it sits like that inside the canister on the canister walls. And then the way they get vacuum pressure is it's the rod shifts back and forth a tiny bit. And then those shoes take up the difference, and it's supposed to slide. Well, it had bent that metal rod in half. So I looked at him and said,
That
well,
sounds very bad.
yeah. So I looked at him and said, well, the $1,200 bill you have over the shop. He said, yeah, no, I know. I said, okay. I said, so I'm now no longer going to, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but trust. I'm not saying your work, but your son's work on German vehicles. I think he should stick to his lane on North American. And I'm going to have to see about finding someone else to repair my vehicle. So you're going to get a bill. He's like, yeah, no, I understand. So I was on Facebook, and a week, I think, it was a week prior to that, I had gotten called out to do some electrical wiring repair and harness repair on a guy out in Hamilton. He needed to get his computer wiring harness repaired. So I went out and I met him about a week previously because I was looking for a fuel pump for the same car. And I'd given him my card, so he called me out. I went and did the work. And then when the car failed, I called him on it and I was like, hey, listen, I had all of this happen, and I explained it to him. I said, do you know anybody? And he's like, yep, I know just the person. Within 30 minutes, this guy, his name's Pierre, comes out, flatbed truck, introduces himself, looks at the car. He looks at me, he sees the expression on my face, and he's like, I gotcha. Loads the car up, takes it to his place, repairs everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Charges me $1,000. Way less than it should have been. And I was like, that's crazy. So I paid him and went back over to the mechanics and I just showed him the receipt for the payment from my bank. And I was like, that's how much it cost me. And he's like, yep, no problem. He says, I'll take care of it. I said, well, I already did. He's like, okay, I'll get you the cash. And then I didn't hear from him for a while. So I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. So I decided, I was like, okay, Pierre, you know what? Kick me out another bill, but kick me out an actual service bill for the work and the parts, and charge out what you would charge somebody. Well, obviously you didn't know me, but somebody that you're trying to make some money on. And he's like, okay. So he picks me up a bill. I bring it down. I sit it on the counter. I said, here's the legit bill, and then there's the one that I asked you to pay. Those are your choices. He's like, okay, don't worry about it. I'll make sure you get the money. I'll e-transfer to you. I wait and I wait and I wait. 4 weeks goes by, no answer. He's like, all right, no problem. So I call a small claims lawyer. It's like, this is what I need to do. He said, all right, here's the paperwork you need. Sends me all the links. I print it all off, fill it all out, submit to the court, submit to him, left it in his mailbox. The next day, I get a notification, an e-transfer for $1,000. Yeah. But so I had to fight with that. But this guy, the guy that helped me out in the end, like even to the point where like a couple of months later, my clutch is toast, and he's like, I'll take care of that for you. Because my hands are too big to work on that car. And I even told him that. I said, listen, I can do some stuff. I said, but on that car, I just can't get in there. I said, so unless I'm dropping the whole engine, it's not happening. I said, but if you need somebody to run and grab wrenches or help you hold the thing, or I can get my hand in there, I'll do it. So that's what we ended up doing. We ended up doing probably about another $1,400 worth of work on the car between the two of us.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, again, like I said, with karma, stuff like that doesn't happen very often. At least not in my court anyway. Everything I get, I have to earn it. I have to fight for it.
But that it makes you appreciate it a little bit more when it just happens.
You know, I think at this point I could just really enjoy some bonus features. I really could just use some bonus features. I'm okay with, you know, appreciating something that's been given to me that I didn't actually earn. I'm all right with that. I would
Speaking
definitely
of things that you didn't actually earn.
Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying though? Right? Like there's so many people in the world that get all kinds of stuff handed to them and they didn't earn it nor do they deserve it, but they seem to just get it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be okay with that lifestyle. At least for a week.
Just don't get used to it. Don't expect it.
Yeah. So did I lose your camera or did you be
Oh, I turned off my camera because I had to plug in my charger and
Gotcha.
just really don't want to show this angle.
The nostril angle?
So, yeah, well, my cord's pretty short for the charger, so.
Okay.
But that picture is my youngest grandson when he was probably about a year and a half.
Okay.
My daughter caught him giving the finger.
Nice. Always gotta love those baby gestures, and you're like, what?
Oh, it was a whole. Okay, was he doing it on purpose? Did he see somebody doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the old saying. Are they? Is he really smiling or is he farting?
Well, she thinks he was really just exploring with his what his hands could do. So.
Yeah, new things, new movements. Yeah.
Well, things to make other people laugh. I mean, come on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, then. Well, I'll let you get your phone charged up. Now that I know what I'm doing and I see how everything's working, now I can start arranging it properly. And now all I got to do is sit down and figure out a schedule. I'm trying to keep my stream schedule after everybody else.
Okay, yeah, it's like 12:30 where you are now, almost, right?
Yeah. So I know Steph goes on fairly late.
Well, she's UK, so her
Right.
time zone is completely different.
Yeah. So I'm trying to stick either before or after. So
I wanted to kind of give a little I don't know. It was my birthday on Saturday.
oh, happy birthday.
And I turned 49, so next year's the big one.
Nice.
On Sunday, I saw on my phone that I had an email notification, and I was gifted a subscription on Steph the Alternerd.
That's cool.
I know, that's like one of my coolest birthday presents this year. The other one was the Google Light from my son and my ex.
Oh, nice.
So
That's really cool.
I'm still getting used to that. That's why I kind of swore at myself when I turned on the light by the switch instead of through Google.
Yeah. That's actually really cool. I didn't know she did stuff like that.
So yeah, you have to have you go into the join, and there's a thing about gifts, and you have to click on that and move the switch over to accept. And I wasn't even on her stream on Saturday when I was gifted the monthly sub membership.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I tried to mention that in the chat on Nerd Report, because Amy was saying, "Hey, I'd like a membership." It's like, well, you don't even actually have to be on to get it. You just have to have your settings set properly.
That's why they kept saying some or 5 gifted subscriptions. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to look into. It must be done directly through YouTube. So I'll have to look to see if that's an actual function in there for that switch. I'll have to go through the settings a little more and see if that's in there.
And just so you know, you actually have to do that on every thing that has a membership or a join thing. So you don't just do it on one and it's automatic for all of them. You'd have to go on every one that you'd like a membership on and accept it.
Right. Yeah.
So.
So it'd probably help if I created an actual membership group first. I haven't done that part yet. At least I don't think that's an option there.
Well, I can't get to it on your screen because there's no join feature. So just subscribe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so then then I haven't enabled it yet. Then, so if it just says the subscribe, I wonder if you have to have a certain amount. Guess I can just look and see if that's an option.
I'm not sure if it has anything to do with being monetized. Because I've only seen join on stuff that I know is monetized. Because you can't get super chats if you're not monetized.
Yeah, see. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, yours doesn't even have a thank option. Interesting. I can like, dislike, share, clip, or save or flag. I'm not going to flag you.
Okay. So advanced features. See, why does it say channel? It keeps setting this to not set. This channel is not made for kids. Okay, no, that's right. It's not. Okay, what's this feature eligibility? Upload videos. Link the account. Allow viewers to clip my content. Google Ads linking. I'm not linking that. Permissions.
I've seen download as an option on some, too.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how that works.
Moderators, approved users, hidden users, redirect my channel. Defaults, contents on your channel. Hide potentially inappropriate. Increase strictness. That's new. It says experimental.
Hmm.
Subtitles, comments.
Mm-hmm.
Comments. You can now apply a stricter setting. Okay, I already did that part. Mentions. Mentions found. Channel. Branding, basic info. Feature for returning subscribers. It says highlight a video for your subscribers to watch. I don't see it in the studio panel at all anywhere. So it must have something to do with a subscriber count maybe, or it's a timeline thing, right? Because I mean, I've technically had the channel for years and I put a couple of videos on there a while back,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have, maybe it's the licensing thing. So it's a standard YouTube license, Creative Commons. I don't know what that part. Video language, caption, title and description language. Yeah, I don't see it here. I'm wondering if maybe, so it might be because I don't have
I think the real Laura B just got monetized, so if you want to find out what you have to be monetized for and what you don't, she'd be a good person to ask if you could DM her.
Yeah, I think so,
Because that's, I was watching her stream when she was saying that she's never accepted a super chat before, so she didn't know how to do it.
well, the thing is I don't have that disabled, but nor is it an option, because when I go into block links, when I first go into the general, it says default currency. I've got it in Canadian dollars. It's converted from US based on historical conversion rates. But it doesn't. It hasn't even had an option in here that like lets it link it into my bank account or any of that stuff.
I wouldn't link it to your bank account. I just link it to PayPal.
Well, that's the thing too, right? So I don't even think it's got that in that option. Like I have nothing about. The only thing that comes up in the monetization section, it says as a YouTube partner, you'll be eligible to earn money from your videos, get support, and then it's got to learn more. But when I go into it, it says, so right now, it says 1,000 required, 4,000 required for 3 public watch hours.
Okay, well, I know you have to have a certain number of subscribers and a certain number of hours either viewed or posted. I don't know which it is.
So yeah, so it says three public watch hours. So 3 people have to watch it, or 4,000 required. So apparently I've got 3 public watch hours. So 3 people have watched publicly for 3 hours, but it says 4,000 was required.
4,000 what required?
4,000. So what counts as a public watch hour? Only valid watch hours from currently public videos count towards YPP eligibility. Videos played from the stories and short videos, shelf, or as a part of an ad campaign are not included in eligibility. So when I go to learn more,
So do you have a tattoo on your left forearm?
the
one of the cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a drag.
I have 3 and they're all high. Mine are all hidden.
Yeah, and then I have another one on my shoulder.
You should just tell people that it's really only one and it goes right through you.
Yeah, it does. It starts here and continues on somewhere and then ends out there.
You can only see it here and here, but it goes all the way through.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, I just thought I saw ink on your arm when you were moving it.
Yeah. So. So yeah, you're not eligible to earn any money from your videos or get creator support if you don't have at least 1,000 subscribers. I don't know if this is and or one or the other. 4,000 public required watch hours. So it shows public watch hours. I've got it at 3. 4,000 required.
How long is your parrot video?
I think it's 7 or 10 minutes. I got a strike on that. Technically, I didn't get a strike. I got a mute strike after 15 seconds on that because I was watching UFC.
Oh, yeah, copyright.
Yeah, and in between the fights, they had a live concert. And so,
Oh, I was thinking just the UFC might have been enough to do it, but it was the music.
it was because of the music in it. That's what he was dancing to, right? So, um, I unfortunately had to sell him my bird. Yeah,
Oh, he was pretty.
yeah,
I see 3 minutes and 20 seconds for that one. So I guess
yeah.
watching that one isn't really going to help you too much.
No, the other one was when I was in Hamilton. It was a recording of a car accident. It was a pretty nasty one, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, like I mean, from the distance, you don't see anybody get hurt, but I mean, just watching the accident, it's like, whoa.
You actually saw it happen?
Yeah, and I caught it
Wow.
on my security camera. Yeah, I got up early in the morning and I was standing outside, and this guy in the truck just decided he didn't feel like stopping for the light.
Shit.
He wasn't too impressed either. He was pretty upset the fact that I not only shared it on YouTube, but I also shared it on Facebook. I got a
Well, too
message
bad
from
for him. Maybe he should have learned how to use his brakes.
yeah, I got a message from his girlfriend, a private message, and she's like, "Can you please take that down?" I'm like, "No,
Sure. Yeah,
yeah,
after the police ask me to, I will.
yeah." I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I think I'll leave it right where it is." But thanks for asking. And that's
Share
where
again with her comment. Would you like your name on it this time?
sorry, what was your name again? Yeah, no, yeah, that was the first time I think that was the only. I don't know if I got that message on Facebook or if I got it on YouTube. I think I got it on YouTube. I don't think I got any thumbs down. I don't think they did that. But
Well, I think they're taking out all the thumbs down because I don't see anything with dislikes anymore.
yeah, there's a little bit of a feature. It's a plugin, like if you're using Chrome or Firefox, you can look it up for restore thumbs down. So I still have that option. I can still
Oh
thumbs
no,
down.
the option is there, but I never see any dislikes. Like on under the stream, it has 2 likes and 0 dislikes.
Right. So when
And
I
of
go
course, the
in,
like is solid because I did it. So I'm just gonna do this, but I'm gonna change it back. So
yes,
feedback there, but I switched it back to like.
okay. Yeah, see, no, I don't, like, when I'm in and I'm viewing a video, let's pull up this one, I'll just mute, oh, it is muted already. So I've got, yeah, see on mine now, when I open up YouTube, for instance, I'm watching, what is this? This is the only 2 up kick finishes in UFC history. And I have the option to, so it's got 100, this one video's got 170 K likes and 4K dislikes.
Oh wow, I don't see anything under dislikes on any of mine anymore.
Yeah. So I can't remember what the plugin is called, but I do know that if you go to Google search and you type in restore dislikes on YouTube, and you should find the extension for it. And then when you reload YouTube, it'll show up.
So when I did click on dislike, did it show up for yours?
That's a good question. Let me look.
Okay, I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna put it back. Feedback shared with creator, learn more.
So now it says 0.
0 likes, but what does it say for dislikes?
It may take a second to show. There's usually about a 15-second delay, so. Actually, I'll just refresh the page. Still says 0 at the moment.
Huh. But I still don't see a number by dislike. I just see that it's solid because I've done that. It's funny though because likes went down to 0, but when it says 2 watching now. I think we have somebody joining us.
Me.
I just switched back to like.
Yes, I see the 1, but I didn't see the 0 pop up. It may be something that takes place after the video's like finished and it's showing up or whatever. I'm not sure on that.
But when
part.
I click off of like, then it goes from 2 to 0.
Okay. That's really strange that it went from 2 to 0 because I didn't like it and it only shows 1 on my end.
Well, mine says 2.
Okay. Well, maybe I should give it a thumbs up. There we go. Now it says 3.
Like I said,
Like
you have a friend. Now it says there's only 1 watching, and I've still got it on 2 devices, but under the same name. So, which is funny because when I've called in, it says Carrie Durr, and on the chat here on the computer, it says Carrie Masoni.
Yes, yeah. Analytics. Let's see what analytics has to say about it. Two likes, 2 concurrent viewers, which is me and you.
It's funny that you don't count when you're actually streaming it, unless you're watching it on another device.
No, I'm actually, so I have multi-screens. So I have this, what
So
we're on.
one computer, more screens.
Huh?
One computer, more screens.
One computer and 2 screens.
Ah.
So I can open up another browser up top and I'm watching the live stream through YouTube.
So yeah, last time when you were looking up, it looked like you were looking directly into the camera. So it was like you were looking directly at me, and now when you're looking up, it's like you're looking up.
So now I'm looking at the screen below, which is closer to the camera, and now I'm looking at the camera.
So I was just kind of wondering if, if we watch these other streams, like the last one and this one again, does that count as your viewing hours, or do you need to have other people watch them?
I think it's 4,000 people.
Because I'm going to go back to that and oh, stop it. Sorry. I touched the wrong part of my screen.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm sure at some point it'll get there and I'll start getting whatever.
Okay. So the one that you're doing now, there's 2 watching. And the one that you did last week, there's 9 views. So, and I did not rewatch it. Did you rewatch it?
No.
So there's actually 9 views.
Cool.
So I guess it would probably mean that you need to have 4,000 hours up, because with that one being watched 9 times, it's 2 hours and 10 seconds times 9.
Yeah, see, and when I look at it at my side, it says 3 hours and so I think it says 3 people. It says 3 out of 4,000, but I don't know if it's based on people or hours. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
And when it says hours, you think it means hours. But it doesn't say whether it's hours posted or hours viewed.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't say anything.
Excuse me.
Where are we? Let's go to customize channel. Anyone have comments? So watch time hours 3.2. Actually, it shows 13 views. 5 subscribers. That's in the analytics section.
So you said 5 subscribers?
Yeah.
Because when I just scroll down from on the computer, on my laptop, it says that there's 7 subscribers.
See, now on this side it says 5+ subscribers.
Oh, well, 7 is plus 5. 5 plus equals 7.
And then it says 8 unique viewers. 8 unique viewers. Nothing for return. Watch time for subscribers. Nothing to show. But I think that's for the last 20. See, last 20 days. 7 days. Not eligible for audience data due to show this report.
Huh. Sounds so much more complicated than it needs to be.
It really is. And like I said, as I go through here, it's like, yeah, so it says, yeah, there's not enough geography data to show this report. The other one, the same thing. There's not enough data to show the report. Really strange. This interface is just, I hear a lot of people complain about it as well. I like that the interface is just, but when I go to monetization, this is how it shows. It shows up in a square box. And on the first side, it says 7 subscribers, 1,000 required. Then it says 3 public watch hours, 4,000 required. So I need 4,000, well, actually 3,997 more hours of watched viewing. I can tell you that jumping up to 1,000 subscribers is probably easier run than getting a few people to watch 4,000 hours worth of my content. Jeez.
Well, I know that there is more than one thing that you need. So I know you need. I thought 10,000 was a number that I've heard, but I don't know for sure if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, this is just basically, it says grow with YouTube. As a YouTube partner, you'll be eligible to earn money from your videos, get creator support, and more. Then it says learn more. And it says to get into the YouTube Your Partner program, you need to meet the criteria listed below. After you submit the application, your channel will get reviewed. So once you hit that, then you have to request or send the application in to become eligible. And they even say at the end of it, it says, we'll send you an email when you're eligible to apply. That's how the entire system is set up right now, according to the Creator Studio.
Are you still holding your cigarette?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to put that down or light it.
Sometimes I
holding it in your hand, don't your hands get sweaty?
No. Sometimes I just hold it just so that it's there, so I don't smoke as much.
Yeah. No, it looked like you were holding it mostly in the palm of your hand, so
I was actually, yeah. No,
I was thinking that's probably not the best idea.
no, I'm not. I'm not what we call the sweaty person that way. I don't have the old hand faucets.
Oh, somebody's here. Hi, Grayson.
I'm fine.
Hi. Let me know when you can see you.
Uh,
See
there we
you?
go. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Oh, what am I doing? I'm showing you my closet. There you are. That's Grayson. He'll be 2 in August.
I need to clip my nails.
Sorry, no, he'll be 3 in August.
3 in August. Hi, Grayson.
I need to clip my nails.
Okay. When we're done here, I'll clip your nails.
Time to get to work.
Well, Mommy doesn't like clipping their nails because they cry. So Gran does it.
It's a knack. it's a learned knack. You're either good at it or you're not. Yeah.
Well, my daughter's also got the best nails ever. Like, people think that she's got that she gets her nails done all the time. She doesn't.
Yeah.
They are they're so strong naturally.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know. I have a hard time fumbling with clippers, but like I said, I always got the, like for my kids when they were small, I got the big, fat handle ones. So I don't have to worry about it flying out of my hands.
The toenail clippers? Is that what you mean?
No. They're kid clippers.
Oh.
But when you get them, they have like a blue or green wide rubberized handle that sits at the end, so you can almost put it like
over there.
on your hand. Yeah, next time you're at like the drugstore or I don't know if you guys have Shoppers Drug Mart out there.
Yes, we do. I like buying pop on the weekends.
Yeah, if you go through there through the aisles and you look at the whatever it is, personal grooming, but if you go down
personal care.
Yeah, if you go down the baby aisle, you'll find them there.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, they're an easy grip clipper.
Oh, don't fall off Gran's bed. Alrighty. I will go take care of that because, it's almost 11 here. Got to get him to bed.
Yep, and that's the end of the stream for today. And now that I kind of got things worked out, thank you for helping. I appreciate it.
By the way, last time I waved when you started waving.
Oh.
But I told you I wasn't going to say anything else, so I was just...
No worries.
Alrighty, you have a safe night.
You too.
And yeah, next time I get a notification, I'll definitely come back.
I'll set up. I'm probably going to go on again at this time. What's today? Today's
Monday, I think.
Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it's Monday.
For me, now it's Tuesday, so tomorrow. Yeah. So Wednesday night.
You're a day ahead of me.
Yeah. So Wednesday night, I'll probably come back on again.
Okay, so yeah, I'm probably not going to be available Friday night.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do Fridays because there's so much going on with the rest of the streams.
Well, this week I'm going to be out of town.
Okay.
On Friday and again on Monday on the 1st.
Okay.
So, and we're going out tomorrow too. And sorry, I can't hear out there.
No worries. Maybe I'll throw something up throughout the day, Saturday, because I know there's going to be a little bit of a gap with Popcorn Planet being off. So there might be a little gap in between there. Maybe I can.
I know they're planning Steph's planning something for Friday, but I don't know about Saturday.
Yeah, like I said, I'll keep in touch with their streams and see what's going on, and like I said, I'll try and sneak in between somewhere along the line, so I don't interrupt.
Yeah, but those days I'm literally going to be in the middle of nowhere. So,
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely keep you up to date.
alrighty.
Okay.
But think I have it set for notifications because pretty sure I got on pretty quick after
Yes.
I
Yeah.
got the notification.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it that quickly. I was like,
Oh, hey Google.
so I'm hoping
Thanks
I
for
can get
notifying me.
a few more people from the planet, from Nerd Report and stuff to sneak over. I know I probably could have private messaged a few people I have on my list and let them know, but I was just like, I want to make sure this works first before I get too carried away. So.
Well, I mean, these are test runs, so, you know.
Yep.
Sorry, there's a big fan in the hall.
No worries. All right, sweetheart. I will let you do what you're doing, and I am going to head off to.
Alrighty, you stay safe.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.